All right, y'all, this one's going to be fun. I'm going to be giving y'all my ultimate Super Bowl sleeper for the 2023 season. Now, I usually wait to do this video because, I kind of want to see what the teams are looking like heading into the playoffs in the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. And I've got my team. And it is absolutely, without a doubt, the Los Angeles Rams. Now, if you look at this team coming into the season, Las Vegas had them as one of the worst teams in the NFL. They were supposed to be a 5 or 6 win team and have an absolutely implosion of a season. And that's because there were so many question marks on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. However, if you look at the one team in the NFL that has vastly overperformed at every single position, it is the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm going to start with the defense. Now, this defense was supposed to be a bad defense. They were supposed to be very top-heavy with Aaron Donald, and, maybe it would be a situation where Aaron Donald kind of helps save face and single-handedly makes the defense okay. But everyone else in the defense is stepping up. They're performing well as a unit. Aaron Donald is still a very talented player despite being older. The defensive line has been good. They've been getting after the quarterbacks, and they have overperformed significantly. Now, I don't want to waste a whole lot of time talking about the defense because the main reason this team is my Super Bowl sleeper is because of their offense and everyone involved in it, from the coaching all the way to Matt Stafford and all the wide receivers, the running game, everything like that. So when it comes to the offense, the main reason I think this team is going to be a Super Bowl sleeper, I've got several of them. And the first one is the offensive line. Now, the offensive line was supposed to be literally like a bottom 3 unit. They were in shambles coming into the season, and they have overperformed significantly. And really, they're a top 15 unit. They're a top 15 offensive line, and nobody saw that coming. So everything starts with pass protection, right? Your quarterback needs time to throw. Your running backs need holes to run through. And if that's not there, well, you're not going to be a very good football team. So the offensive line has overperformed significantly. And I was telling people this going into the season, but Matt Stafford looked so bad last year because his elbow was hurt. He had an injury. And it's like, people just wanted to write him off and say that he's older now. People were literally making comments saying things like Matt Stafford is an average quarterback. Matt Stafford is mid. I had arguments with people over the offseason about this. Matt Stafford is not mid. Matt Stafford is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I think you could even make an argument that he's a top 3 when it just comes to just pure arm talent. I mean, if you were watching last night's game, how many times was the defender in his face and he had to adjust his arm angle to get a wide receiver the ball, and he was still able to fit the ball in tight windows? This dude has tremendous arm talent, borderline Aaron Rodgers prime-like arm talent, and nobody gives him credit for it. Now, obviously, he's not a very mobile quarterback, but that's exactly why the Rams have really developed their run game and gotten Kyren Williams involved, because what that does is it allows Matt Stafford to not have to be mobile, right? He can sit back and be a pocket passer when you're running the ball 20-plus games with Kyren Williams, and teams have to respect the run. So teams are selling out a lot to stop Kyren Williams, and this has opened up the passing game. And we've seen the emergence of Puka Nacua. We've seen the emergence of Demarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell. And then obviously we've got Cooper Kupp, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. And this offense is smoking hot right now. They cannot be stopped. I don't think there's a lot of defenses that are going to have an answer for an overperforming offensive line. Matt Stafford sitting in the pocket, having time to pass, this elite core of wide receivers, an elite run game in Kyren Williams. Boy, has he been a monster this year. He's carried the ball 20-plus times, 4 consecutive games. This guy's an absolute workhorse, and he is bludgeoning defenses, opening up the rest of the offense for all the other positions. And on top of this, you've got wide receivers that block very well. Right? You watch a lot of NFL games, and there's a lot of diva wide receivers where when they're not getting the ball, they don't want to block. They don't want to do anything else. They just want to catch passes. And I understand that to a degree. You see guys like George Pickens, crying about not getting the ball enough. And, it's understandable when you're a talented wide receiver. But there are no selfish wide receivers on this team. Cooper Kupp is used to getting 900 targets a game and single-handedly running the offense over the past 2 seasons before he got hurt last year. And this year, he is adjusting to his new role just fine. And whenever he's not getting the ball, he's blocking. Okay? And you see it. Cooper Kupp, he's never afraid to throw a block. Puka Nacua is never afraid to throw a block for Cooper Kupp when they're scheming to get Cooper Kupp open. This team is very unselfish, and that's ultimately what leads to winning a Super Bowl, right? Because football is all about scheme. It's all about coaching. It's all about scheming to get your guys open. Without elite blocking, you're just not going to have that. That's why you see teams like the 49ers move the ball at will, because their blocking is incredible. They have so many good skill players, but they're unselfish, okay? When it comes time to move the ball, whoever's not getting the ball is blocking, and you just don't see that with every team. The Rams have some of the best blocking from their wide receivers of any team in the entire league, and the biggest reason, maybe besides Matt Stafford, because I'm going to say that Matt Stafford is the biggest reason why this team is in contention, because I think he's probably the most slept-on quarterback in the NFL as far as overall talent is concerned. And if you watch last night's game, you kind of saw him make plays that almost no other quarterback in the league can make. I mean, almost no other quarterback, not named Pat Mahomes, maybe Josh Allen, can make the passes that Matt Stafford was making. And Matt Stafford's a better arm talent quarterback than Josh Allen, because while he might have a slightly weaker arm, he still is a more accurate passer and turns the ball over less. So when it comes to pure arm talent, you could argue that Matt Stafford is the second most talented quarterback in the league. Now, when you factor in rushing, you've obviously got to throw in guys like Lamar Jackson and stuff for just who's overall the best quarterback in the league. But when it comes to pure arm talent, I think that Pat Mahomes is the only better arm talent quarterback in the NFL than Matt Stafford. People never give Matt Stafford credit for it. This dude is one of the best passers of the football I have ever seen. And that's why this team has a great chance to be my Super Bowl sleeper. And what I was going to get to is my second reason why the Rams could be my Super Bowl sleeper, and that is this man right here, Sean McVay. This dude, the youngest head coach in the NFL, 37 years old, been doing it for 7 years, led the Rams to multiple deep playoff runs, right? A Super Bowl victory in 2021. This is a head coach who really knows what the heck he's doing. If you watch this offense, the exotic play calling, setting guys in motion, how often do you see Cooper Kupp line up on one side of the field, run all the way over to the other side of the field, and, they're going to throw him a screen pass, and you got Puka Nacua already there to block because he's never afraid to throw a block, and then you just watch Cooper Kupp catch the ball and run for 10 yards, almost at will. They can call all these screen passes. They run reverses and they hand the ball to their running backs. They run those jet sweeps to Cooper Kupp. They run it to Puka Nacua. They use their speed of their wide receivers to get them involved in the running game. They're constantly setting them, guys in motion and trying to confuse the defense. And this exotic play calling is very much why they're so hard to defend. And they kind of remind me of the NFC version of the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, they're always setting guys in motion. So you see all these resemblances of the Rams to really good teams like the 49ers and the Dolphins. And I think from a talent perspective, they're not too far off from either of those teams. And so considering the fact that they have outperformed expectations significantly this season compared to, what we were really expecting them to do, I think I have them as I know for a fact that they are easily the biggest sleeper to win the Super Bowl. They are my biggest sleeper to win the Super Bowl this season. And nobody's talking about them right now because everybody's talking about the Niners and the Dolphins and, the Ravens. Understandable. All those teams are very good. But if the Rams somehow manage to make the playoffs and sneak their way out of the NFC, I would not be all that surprised. I think that they have a chance to beat the 49ers, the Eagles, the Cowboys. I really do. They're my Super Bowl sleeper. I can see them making this run all the way to the playoffs and even winning a Super Bowl this season. So if you're a Rams fan, I think you're in for a good surprise because I think the Rams are going to find their way into the playoffs. I think they're going to make a deep playoff run. Now, they're not my favorite to win the Super Bowl. That's why they're a sleeper, right? Like if I'm betting money straight up on, San Francisco versus the Rams, I'm going to bet on San Francisco right now. But when you look at it, what it really comes down to in the playoffs so often is quarterback play. And as good as Brock Purdy has been, he is not Matt Stafford. They are not even in the same universe. I hate to tell you, Brock Purdy fans and, Brock Purdy MVP candidate enthusiasts, Brock Purdy is not Matt Stafford. Brock Purdy will never be Matt Stafford, okay? Matt Stafford is in a tier of his own. This is one of the best, most talented quarterbacks as far as arm talent in the entire NFL. One of the best, most, just adept play calling coaches in the NFL in Sean McVay. This is a very good football team, and they've got a chance to make a deep run. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know who you think your Super Bowl sleeper is or if you agree with me that it's the Rams. All right, I'll catch you later.